What's up, traders? How y'all doing? So this video, I got a lot of questions of asking how much leverage I trade with. So I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about trading with leverage. People love to ask, how much leverage are you trading when I'm trading crypto? And I think that it's the wrong question to ask and almost irrelevant. And asking how much leverage, I guess they're doing a funeral right over here, some kind of memorial. Oh yeah, and I see the dolphin boats out there too. Soon I'm gonna start working and they're doing dolphin tours part-time. Excited about that. Yeah, but I think you guys are asking the wrong question, and it's showing you're just focusing on the wrong things. The leverage is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna tell you why. You need to be thinking about how much is at risk. That's what matters, and your leverage could be 100 or it could be 1. So let's say you have a $10,000 trading account, right? You could risk $1,000 on a trade idea out of that $10,000. That would be a 10% risk, right? What is your leverage? Doesn't matter. Your leverage could be 1, it could be 5x, it could be 20x, it could be 100x. Your risk is still 1,000 out of 10,000. It doesn't matter, right? So you need to be always thinking when you put a trade on, and throughout the trade, if you add on to the trade, how much is at risk in terms of money and in terms of percentage of my account. And the amount of leverage you have on is irrelevant, okay? Now, leverage can be useful because it can allow you to risk, say, that $1,000 or that 10% on a tighter invalidation. Or it can hurt you because now you're gonna get stopped out quick and you lose. But it doesn't really matter. What does matter is how much you're risking and what percentage you're risking. Now, I will tell you, I typically am using a lot of leverage, but part of the reason why is because of my portfolio. I usually keep most of my money in high interest savings account and a small amount of my money on the crypto exchange. And the reason why is I'm worried about exchanges going down. I'm using a Plow digital ID. I want to make sure I can get my money off. I want to be able to transfer money to my bank in a day or a couple of days if I need to. And there's a holding risk for crypto on a crypto exchange that you don't have when you have most of your money in an FDIC insured account, right? So I might have 10 or 20% of my funds on the exchange, and then I'm risking 10% of that account, but then it's only 1% of my actual account, and I'm risking on high leverage, but it doesn't really matter, and there's only so much I can lose if I go rogue or something goes wrong, I fat finger, fuck up, and lose everything on the account. Well, most of my money's in a safe place. So this is what to think about is, right, you could, right, say right now as I'm making the video, the price of Bitcoin is around $60,000, which has been true since March. Now, you could, say you have $60,000, you could have $60,000 in your long, and your stop loss is at, say, $55,000. So you have $5,000 at risk out of your $60,000. And you're doing that on spot. You bought a spot Bitcoin. Or you could transfer $5,000 to an exchange and do it with what? It would be 10x leverage, 12x leverage, and risk your whole portfolio. But then you have your $55,000 extra in a high interest savings or in some other kind of play, right? So leverage should be considered as a tool to protect capital from exchange risk and protect capital from things going wrong, not as a tool to increase risk necessarily. You should always start from a place of how much is at risk and what is the percentage at risk. And again, the amount of leverage you have on doesn't really matter. So you can keep asking the question. It's interesting. It's fun to crank up a winning position, do 100x leverage, and be like, hey, look, 100x leverage. The percentage is insane, but you don't know if you don't know how much money I have and how much I'm risking, like the number is pointless. So what I don't recommend is full porting high leverage. Definitely don't do that. Don't put all the money you have in an exchange and port it at high leverage. And I also want you to understand that from my understanding, this isn't always true, but a lot of excellent traders do what I do. So when you see them trading with high leverage and taking crazy risk, that's just one clip of their money in that account, and they have more money elsewhere, right? The Q Banks video, some of you guys saw me, I did a video review on it. I need to get gas. Seemed like a stupid trade. I don't know, he risked his whole account. Well, we do know that his whole account is not his whole net worth, right? So he might have had 200 grand at risk on a trade, but it's just one. If he loses that, he has money in other pockets he can pull out, right? So that's something to think about. Never full port everything on high leverage. Always keep money elsewhere as a squirrel. Always try to have other income streams, whether that's working jobs, running your own gigs, having a business, owning businesses, whatever it is, it's fine. Just make sure you have other income coming in too, and always think about what percentage you're willing to risk. That is going to be painful, but you can come back from, you can survive from. I cannot tell you how much to risk. I started with a theoretical example of risking 10%. Most people tell you risk 1 to 2%. What can you risk that you can psychologically recover from and won't blow you up? And you also have to know that you have an edge too on the trades you're taking. Right, I'm not talking about throwing 10% on a shitty scalp idea with high leverage. I'm talking, okay, you know you have an edge, and maybe it's a swing high time frame idea with a wide stop. But I mean, you do whatever you want. But I just want to answer that question. I would say once and for all, but I know people are going to continue to ask. Don't ask about my leverage, ask about my risk percentage. All right, appreciate y'all, much love and peace.